Hello and welcome to Amazing Jessy Show. Today is the fifth day of Amazing Jessy Summer Flash. And the last week and week plus has been amazing, has been such an amazing experience, something new. And I can tell you, I have just enjoyed it so much. And on Monday, we started a new segment called Get Inspired. And I can tell you, I was very inspired by Reverend Funke Adechibero. So I decided to show you guys another special guest who is here to get all of you inspired. Not only is she a deaconess, she is the president of Africa United Galway. She has recently graduated from Child, Youth, and Family Policy and Practice. All my viewers, please help me welcome Deaconess Esther Osayinwen. Woo! Good evening.
Thank you, Jessy. How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Grace, good to see just big smile all the time.
Thank you so much. I really hope I said the last name right. I'm always working on it. So I hope I said it better than usual. How are you today?
I'm great. My surname is Osayinwen. I'm doing very well.
I'll keep trying. Don't worry. So how has your day been today? Has it been pretty eventful or kind of a calm day?
Today has been a very calm day for me. I was off work today, so anytime I'm off work, I tend to just relax as much as possible and lie in when I can. So it's been a relaxed day for me. So I'm grateful for that. So.
Well, that's pretty good. I think we all need a relaxed day sometimes, so that's great. I want to thank you so much for coming on my special today. I'm so honored. Thank you so much for accepting.
My pleasure. My pleasure.
I'm actually really excited for this, so I know it'll go amazingly. So I just want to ask you a few questions before we go into the interview. But before that, could you please introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you are, what you do, and all those kind of stuff?
Well, you've already introduced me. I'm Esther. I am more of an enthusiast. That's how I see myself all the time. That's who I am. I kind of believe things, see things, and I want to believe in them. I try not to focus on things that I will not take my time. That's not worth my time. I'm a mom of 5 babies. I just recently graduated with from BA in Childhood and Family Studies. I like to work as reaching a goal and helping unify families is one of my key core goal actually in unifying families as much as possible, working with children that have issues and trying to see from their point of view. That is more of who I am. I like to see things work. I like to see things work.
Well, that's great. You mentioned your child, youth, and family studies. So what do you can you briefly explain what you study so we can fully understand it? So I think it'll be benefit all of us. So.
Yes, this course is more about working with children, understanding the youth, and empowering the youth. Because when you understand children and youth, you are indirectly empowering the family. So it works, the course has to do with youth development and helping to understand the dynamics of families that exist in our society nowadays, because families are changing. That's just the truth with the way things are now. There's dynamics now and the changes in the families, and understanding where children are coming from so that we can help the family. The children are just better in society that they find themselves, and helping the family become a stronger unit. So that is what that course is about. It's just the child, youth, and family. Just understanding the policies and the practices and helping to empower the families.
Wow, that sounds actually very interesting. I think I need to rethink my career plan because that's pretty interesting. You really explained it in a way I was like, wow, I want to know more about this. So, well, that's really, it's just amazing. So we're almost at the end of the quarantine period and all that's been happening. And you mentioned that you have 5 kids, which... So how has the quarantine been with 5 kids, 7 people in family at home? How has that been?
Do you want the good bit or the bad bit?
All of it. We want all
not
of it.
So good bit. There's no bad bit. Not so good bit. Well, there's sometimes I want to run out of the house and get me out of here. But at the same time, I find because I'm a very, very busy person, I'm very busy. I'm always in and out, work and school before the quarantine. It was a very busy time for me. I was always either working or in school and church, then family. So there was so much. So when we got into the quarantine, I found it as a respite for me personally. It was great that I was able to sit down and do nothing and actually see my family and see my children and see how they are. I was able to actually see those nitty-gritties that we kind of ignore when we are always on the run, trying to meet deadlines, trying to get to the place on time. So the quarantine period was a more of a good, refreshing, relaxing time for me and my family. Even though I was trying to attend to a lot of other things with had to do with my organizations and had to do with school as well and work, but I think I value the fact that I had time to see my family. I valued it with everything that we did together. There were so many things that we didn't have time to do that we now got into. So it was, to me, it was amazing. I loved the quarantine period. I loved it.
I know I can say the same for a bit of it, but the family thing, I think they drive me crazy for a lot of it. But I think it did bring a lot of families together and made them, realize each other and just come together more as a family. So I think that's definitely true.
But having said that though, there were times that I just want to go stay in the car for like 2 hours and come back.
I understand that one.
But that's what family is about. It encompasses everything. So
yeah. What would be like one life lesson you say you learned during this quarantine period, or you think that people could have learned?
Value your relationship. Value your relationship. The quarantine actually brought people back home. People value people more because then you now found that you're apart, but you're trying to be close. That's what this quarantine. That's one thing that I personally thought the quarantine period did to a lot of people, to value relationship, to actually see people for who they are, see people. Sometimes we're so busy and so fast that we live in the same household, but we don't see each other. And that happened for a long time until the quarantine. So it was great. And I think the greatest lesson that I believe people had learned this period was the value of relationships.
That's very true. And you were talking about how you would like before this quarantine you'd be busy, you'd be going this place and this place, and now we're in quarantine and we could have stayed home a bit more. So is there anything like new skills you think you've learned?
Oh God, new skills. The period of the quarantine, I was doing a lot of exams. Half of the time I was doing exams, so I was doing a lot of exams. But at the same time, skills, I picked up my reading again. I won't say the new, but I picked it up again. And I started writing a blog. It's all in the making. It's all written down. I just need to sit down and type because a lot of words that come in sometimes. And it's something that I love cooking. I think I taught my children more skills in cooking and reaching out to people more. That's, to me, is a skill that I needed to develop, reaching out to people more because I'm always a lot to myself in a lot of things. So reaching out to people more. So it was more of a skill that I actually developed very well, which is, I love that.
Yeah, and I think you should stick with the cooking because I've tasted your food and it's amazing. I've tasted your kids' food and it's amazing. So I think you've taught them well. You've taught them very well. So yeah, I can. Did you think that the studying became harder or easier because of this whole thing?
I miss school. I miss school because going into school took you away from the familiar to the unfamiliar. So you do a lot of things for a place where it's like you zero your mind in when you're going into school. I'm going to study. I'm going to learn. So your mind goes in with you. But at home, you're trying to find out or trying to find a secure place to study, if you know what I mean. And I found it was quite challenging doing study at home. Usually, if there was no quarantine, if I had study at home, I'd study at night, only nighttime. Maybe when I come from school, I study at nighttime. But this time I have to look for a place, a way to study during the day and study at nighttime so that I can achieve what I wanted to achieve. But at the end of the day, it was very hard, but it paid off. It paid off.
So I think we can both say that quarantine had its ups and downs, and it was just,
Yep.
yeah. So
it did.
Anyways, thank you so much for answering those questions. And now we're going to get into the challenge. I really hope you're ready. And I'm actually so excited for this because I want to see who can do this, who can really inspire us in 10 minutes. So I'm going to get the timer, and I have 10 minutes exactly here, so we'll know if it's exactly 10 minutes. And you ready to start?
When you're ready.
Okay, I'm gonna say in 3, 2, 1. Okay, start.
Now, you gave me a topic. You talked about doing life big, and there's something I like to tell everyone, especially the young people. The most important part of anything is you. You have influence as an individual. We all have influence. Anywhere we are in, we have influence over that place. In anything we do, you are the most important part of it. Everything you do, to someone, to something. So always think of what you bring to the table. What do you bring to the table? It's important to understand who you are. It's important to know why you are doing what you're doing. It's important to know for who you're doing what you're doing, and to whom. How does it benefit me? How does it benefit me? So when you understand your position in the things that you do, you begin to tackle what you're doing one at a time. You're able to take a task and complete the task. Nothing happens without you as an individual. That's one thing I believe. If you take me out of what I do, that thing becomes nothing to me. That thing becomes nothing to me. Every time we do anything, we look at the whole picture. You can't ever plan what you want to do. Okay, you can have a plan for, I'm going to become this in 5 years. But you know that 5 years, we're always talking about becoming this in 5 years, depends on what you do now. I did economics as my first degree. And in economics, we talk about long term and the short term. The long term is what you hopefully want to achieve eventually. But the short term are those little things you do in order to get to that place that you're going to. So what's important right now is what you do. It's important you do it. And if you have to do it at all, you must make sure you apply yourself to it. Applying yourself to it means understanding you as an individual, understanding the way you do things, understanding why you are doing it. It is important as a child, a young person that has big plans, to have knowledge. Knowledge is what brings understanding. Working to get information is what brings understanding. There is nothing you can't find out. There is nothing you can't know. Anything you apply yourself to, you will know. The only reason why people find it difficult they give up, or they have difficulty in anything, is because they never apply themselves to it. You must apply yourself to find out what you need to find out that is for your benefit. As a child of God, the Bible says that knowledge is the principal thing. In everything, you must get understanding. So in order to get the understanding, you have to acquire, you have to go, what do I need? Do I need to wake up at 5 o'clock in the morning to start reading? What time is my brain most functional? Is it in the morning, in the afternoon, or in the evening? Who am I as an individual? What am I required to be? Excuse. I hate excuse. I hate excuse. Do not use excuse as a reason why you are not able to become who you want to become. Excuses are not good enough. Don't allow anybody make excuse on your behalf, because every time someone makes excuse on your behalf, it means that they've already undermined your abilities. Instead, take hold of who you are and give reasons for what you do. Every time an excuse is made for you, it means you're already working below capacity. You are big, and you are too big and too conspicuous to be ignored as an individual. Whatever you intend to do, listen to what is going on around it. Find out information that pertains to that thing. Learn to understand. Listen to understand. It's very important. We don't. Sometimes we just allow things happen. We listen sometimes to reply. Listening to reply cuts short the meaning of what someone is trying to say. Listening to reply cuts short your ability to know where they are coming from. Listening to reply stops you from getting to the next level with that person or getting to understand what they're trying to say to you. You must listen to understand, because in understanding, that is how you grow. Now, in anything you want to do, you must put a tag on it. I believe, that's my motto. I believe that we are all created for influence. We are all created to create something big. So put a tag on whatever you want to do. When you tag something, what happens is that you see yourself working towards it because you put a tag to it. It's like somebody looking at a point and you're working towards that point. Because your eye is so focused on the point, you find that no matter what happens, you're looking at the point and you're walking towards the point. It doesn't mean that things don't happen. Life can happen. Something can happen that is a disadvantage to you. Critics can come. Criticism come. Because you have a tag on what you want to do, you've already determined what you want to do, and you have a timeline for what you want to do it. Criticism refines you. So when you have criticism, it does not break you. What it does, it takes you from one level to the next. And if at that point where you are working towards something, you are doing life big, the only way to do it is sometimes when you're not sure of something, stop. Stop. It's okay to stop sometime. Reassess what you're doing. You have to always have a point where you always go back. What I'm doing, does it meet my tag? Does it warrant where I'm going to? Am I still in line? Reassess it. Then sometimes you might need to redirect. Sometimes you don't need to redirect. Sometimes you need to look at that place and say, okay, am I doing it right? Do I need to change direction? And sometimes you just need to work a little bit more on a particular position before you move on to the next place. Understand the things can go wrong. Understand that, but that doesn't stop you. Remember, as an individual, I like to apply, deal with people as individuals. I don't separate you are a man, you are a woman. No, you are an individual first. And because you are an individual, you are capable of everything. You are capable to grow. You're capable to evolve. You're capable to learn anything. Anytime we tag something, we say, oh, this is a man, it's a woman. What happens? It limits the abilities that we are as an individual, as a child of God. God made us in his image. So we are limitless in everything that we're doing. So when you understand that the individual you are in the image of God, you have the ability to do everything that is possible. Then what happens is that no matter what comes through, you look at it, you look at those things that can go wrong, that could go wrong, might go wrong when they come as you are walking towards your goal, and you begin to take care of it as they come. Taking care of it can involve asking someone for help. Taking care of it can involve asking someone to lift you. Taking care of it can involve asking someone to help you in the place where you are not sure of. Asking questions, maybe you want to go read again, or you want to go practice that thing again. That's a part of the things that can go wrong. Do not compromise. You want to do life big, do not compromise. Compromise means to settle. You cannot settle for the things that you don't want to be. Once you settle, it means that you have given up. You have changed and reduced your values. Once you settle, once you compromise, you cannot compromise. I looked up the meaning of compromise. It says an expedient acceptance of standards below your values, below the things that you have meant to be. That is what compromise is. standards that are not desirable for your journey. That is compromise. So to do life big, you cannot compromise on your journey, on your values. You cannot compromise on the things that you want to achieve because you have an idea of where you're going to. Another thing that you have to understand is that you must help yourself to grow. Setting limits for yourself, increasing the limits one day at a time. You have achieved this. Then the next thing you do, you go higher. Can I do this? You go higher. You're doing life big, and the only way you can't stay in the same place. You do the same thing over and over again is insanity. There's nothing you can do about that. So you have to increase. You have to increase anytime for you to achieve something bigger. You have to increase for you to achieve something bigger. So for anytime you want to go and get something to a next level, you must increase yourself on the incremental level. Now, the last thing I'm going to say, I know I'm nearly in the 10 minutes. The last thing I'm going to say
you're
is,
at 10 minutes.
the last thing I'm going to say is, look, we are, see yourself as current. See yourself as current. You are like water. Every human being is capable of anything. If you look at this period now that we have this quarantine, a lot of things came out of people that never thought they had. Be ready to evolve. Understanding who you are is very important. Then be ready to evolve. Be ready to be adaptive to situations as they come, but not compromising on your values. Be ready. Apply yourself as appropriate so that you can be always on the cutting edge. You must learn to evolve. Be different. There's nothing you are doing right now. There's nothing that's going to be done right now that's never to be done before. Trust me, everything that is being done right now has happened before. But what makes it you is you applied you to it. You made it, you took that, you grew it. You took what you had, you improved on it. You took what you had, you now saw, oh, you became a critic of someone else. You now said, okay, no, this person should have done it this way. This person should have done it this way. You now took that, you now modified it. You brought yourself in. That's why you have, oh, Jessica is doing Summer Flash. Now she's bringing in different people to speak on something, or she's involving in trying to do some activities just to talk about summer in general, making the months interesting. People have done that before, whatever you want to do, but you must be different in everything. To be different, be different, be enthusiastic. Be enthusiastic means always be interested, be excited to know more. Question the things that you are doing. You are big. Your level of the level that you go to is the level to which you want to get to. The level that you want to get to is the level you grow to. So you must at every time always be enthusiastic about what you do. Enthusiasm means being excited. Being excited. What you are not excited about, you can't do anything about it. You can't do anything about it. Go to school. Education gives you independence. Education gives you dependence on yourself. Help you to understand your inner strength. Education help you to see what is actually available right in front of you in the world, and opens your eye to all the options and help you to understand exactly where you want to go to. It makes you marketable. It gives you a prize. That's what education does. It gives you a prize. It puts a prize on you because they know when they see, oh, this person has this qualification, or this person is able to do this. It doesn't have to be the four and universities. Not everyone goes. There are different levels of education. You could decide to become an apprentice, but be good at what you do. Improve on that. Learn off what you need to learn, how you need to learn it, the way you need to learn it, so that you can become the best in the area that you are in. If you are not the best in the area, someone else is. So to do life big, you must have that niche for themselves, that niche for yourself that says, I am different. Yeah, I know I have what you think I have, what everyone has, what everyone has seen, but I am bringing it in a different light. It's important that we know as people, as individuals, that we are not judged We should not allow ourselves to be judged by the gender that we seem to find ourselves. We are big. You cannot judge yourself. I'm a girl, I'm a boy. So you are a girl and a boy. You were born that way. But when you were born that way, doesn't mean that you must remain just be tagged as a boy and a girl. What have you been able to do as a boy or a girl or as an individual? So I want to encourage every young person, do life big. Don't allow anyone stop you. Disappointments come. Criticism is good for growth. It's important for growth, because if you have no critic, what is happening is that either someone is laughing at you, laughing for you, but not necessarily laughing with you. So always check yourself. Check, if I heard this, does it help me grow bigger? Bigger? Does it make me go better? Understand the things that are around you. If you don't look at the things that are around you, you will never grow around that place. So anywhere you are, another thing I have to say lastly, wherever you are, there's something there. There is something there. You are more than enough. Anywhere you are, if you find that there's a gap and you have what it takes, fill the gap. Fill the gap. Don't wait for someone else to take the initiative, because the Bible tells us that there's a time and season for everything. Something that you need to do today, if you don't do it today, what's going to happen is that it's going to pass and someone else will take it up. And you'll be wondering, oh, I should have done that yesterday. Yeah, you should have, but you didn't. But that did not stop that thing from happening, because you should have, but somebody else picked it up and it became something big. And you'll be beating yourself around it, be about it. You cannot change what has already happened, but you can improve on it. You can be different. It's important to have knowledge. That's above all things. Knowledge is important. Thank you, Jessica. I hope I made it. I made it.
You did actually really amazing. I can say in terms of getting us inspired, you passed with flying colors. But in terms of the challenge, you failed miserably.
I did. How many?
20 minutes.
Tell me. How many minutes?
About 20.
20 minutes?
About like 15, 16.
You told me 10 minutes. Why did you stop me?
Because you were going strong, Kathy. You were really good, though. It was very good. I didn't want to stop because you were on a roll. So
well, you are not. I'm not happy with that now. Why should have stopped me at 10 minutes? I said, and stop. Okay. I'm
going to recap on what you said and tell me if I really got what you were trying to say. So I wrote down some notes.
Okay.
And let's see what I have. Okay. So you have, and I'm just going to read them out. So like.
I think I talked too much, Jessica. I think I talked too much. Okay.
You can rewatch it and see. So, you have an influence. Think of what you bring. Why are you doing what you are doing, and for who? Your future depends on what you're doing in your present. Understand who you are as an individual. Knowledge brings understanding. Apply yourself fully to whatever you do. Don't make excuses. Whatever you do, have the knowledge and understanding of what it is. Listen to understand. Tag what you want to do and work towards it. Know there will always be obstacles. It's okay to stop and look at where you are at to know where you're supposed to go. Know you are capable. With God, all things are possible. Be humble enough to ask for help. Do not compromise for anything. Don't live below your standards. Always take the next step. Be ready to evolve. Guide yourself. Be different. Apply you to all you do and be enthusiastic. So yeah, that's what I got from what you said. And I think it was
that is definitely too long. And one last thing, Jessica, because it's important we know this. Sometimes we look at this and we say it's too difficult. It's not. Nothing is difficult. I look at the wall. You could look at the wall and you say the wall is too difficult to climb. Oh my God! You look at it, then you fear. Oh my God! This wall is so high. I can't climb it. But I tell you, anything you're willing to know, you will know. So you could look at the wall again and you find that, oh, there is actually a way to climb the wall. It could be 6 feet tall, but oh, there's a way to, if I put my feet here and I put my foot there and I put my foot there, I can get to the top of the wall. So don't ever say anything is difficult. I won't say it is if you don't know, really. Impossibility is nothing anyway, but anything, no matter what it is, you just want to work at it.
Yes, you're so right. And before we go, I have just two questions to ask you. You work with a lot of young people and in church in the community, and so you know a lot about young people. So could you tell me some of the struggles that might be with working with young people?
They're young. They're young, and because they're young, there's I think one of this, I won't call it struggle really. I would call it understanding. I would call it trying to know where they're coming from. I always say that you have to know where someone is coming from. Every time, that's why I talked about listening to understand. Every time you don't know where someone is coming from, what happens is that you apply the same rule to everyone. You apply the same rule. So it's not difficulty in dealing with people that the difficulty is just understanding how to apply the differences that you find in them. Like I said, keep it to your values. Keep it to the values that you hold as Christians. We cannot change the values as Christians, but understanding how to apply to the different children that you deal with. That's what I find that you have to learn. I don't think it is a challenge or it's difficult. I think it's something that we have to learn, and it goes on like that. Yeah.
But then what still motivates you? Why are you so motivated to work with young people, would you say?
It's great to see something great. Have you ever seen you pick up something from the mud, or maybe a cloth is dirty and you wash it. Maybe your white is very dirty, you now put it and you wash it, whether you're using a washing machine or you're using your hands to wash, you now wash it and you now see the beauty of the material. You see, that is what motivates me personally. There's beauty in everyone. And sometimes people might not be able to find that beauty if you don't wash those clothes, those things. So what motivates me is that there's beauty in every child. As they're different, there's beauty in every child. It doesn't matter how broken they are. It doesn't matter how broken they are. They can change. They can turn around and they can achieve great things. So there's beauty. That's what motivates me.
You put that very nicely, Aunt. If I say so myself, you put that very nicely. So I want to say again, thank you so much for coming on the Amazing Jessy Summer Flash. I can say I was greatly inspired, and don't worry, next time if you come again, I would definitely stop you at 10 minutes. So I felt we needed to hear.
Now, Jessica, that was not fair.
Timer went on, so I thought you heard the timer. But you did amazing.
If I was talking too much.
But you were very good. You have to know that you really, I'd say you really inspired us. So thank you so much for coming on the Amazing Jessy Summer Flash. And I want to say to all my viewers, come back tomorrow for another day of Amazing Jessy Summer Flash. I will see you guys next time. Bye, everyone. And remember to subscribe to my channel.
Thank you so much. Bye.
Bye, everyone.